It is my pleasure to welcome family, friends, teachers, and 8th grade students to the promotion of the St. Mary Magdalene Catholic School Class of 2020. While this is not how we had planned to celebrate this day and each of you, we are grateful for the opportunity to be in your homes virtually to honor your amazing accomplishments. This past week, there has been an excitement within our school community as we come together to celebrate you. The videos, the messages, the parades, the secret drop-offs, and all of this to commemorate your academic achievements and time with us here. The entire community, your parents, grandparents, teachers, and friends are so very proud of you. I am so proud of you. I would like to thank each of you and every one of you for all that you have brought to St. Mary Magdalene. During your time here, many of you since you were 4 years old, you have brought an energy to this school. Your joy, your laughter, your sense of community is a joy for teachers and adults to watch. Whether outgoing or quiet, you have found a way to bring your passion to your school community. Whether it be soccer, basketball, baseball, art, music, drama, the good kind, riding, dancing, or extreme adventure, we are going to miss each and every one of you in the hallways next year. This is an exciting day in your lives as you move into the next chapter of your educational journey. This afternoon, we celebrate the many unique characteristics that you discovered about yourself while at St. Mary Magdalene. Your leadership, your faith, your love for each other will be a driving force in the years to come. Know that each of us are always beside you to support you and love you as Jesus loved us. May your faith be bigger than your fear. May you dance like no one is watching, and may you always know just how loved you are. Congratulations, 8th grade.
Although we are apart, let us unite our hearts in prayer. Father, thank you for giving us this opportunity today to celebrate all the hard work and service of our students at STMM. Despite these unusual times, this is a special celebration of growth and happiness, and we ask that you surround us with your grace. Bless our students with hope so that they move confidently into the future with eager and open hearts. As they take their next steps, help them to trust in your plan, help them fulfill your word, help them to recognize and share their accomplishments and talents, and help them to put the knowledge, skills, and insights gained through their education to use for the good of all. Let them walk closely with God, finding joy and laughter, hope and purpose, peace, protection, and godly friendships. Inspire us all to believe in the goodness of life, even when faced with challenges and difficulties. May we always give witness to your loving kindness. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Well, good afternoon, St. Mary Magdalene Catholic School students, families, faculty, and administration. As we come together for this wonderful celebration, it obviously looks a little bit different than we thought it might in August, or a little different than it will look any other year, we hope. Looks different, but despite that, this is still a day of great, great celebration because our class of 2020 is being promoted from St. Mary Magdalene Catholic School, and that's an exciting day. And I've had the chance to watch some of your videos on our social media outlets, and they've been so amazing to hear your perspectives and your feelings on the end of this year. So a big thank you to those students who did those speeches for us. It's really greatly appreciated. Another thank you to all of our parents for their commitment to Catholic education. This takes a great deal of sacrifice and dedication from all of our families, and that's something we do not take lightly. And students, I challenge you in the coming days to say thank you to your parents for providing you this wonderful gift of Catholic education. And many times I've heard our students joke over the years at different schools I've been at, they say, I have to listen to my parents or grandparents talk about how they had to walk to school 5 miles each way, in the snow, uphill, right, teachers? We've heard that before, uphill. And now you have a story for your kids or grandkids. Because you can say, I remember in my 8th grade year, they went to total distance learning for 2 weeks. And then it became 4 weeks. And then it became the rest of the year. And who knows, maybe 40 years from now, your grandkids will look at you awkwardly and say, you mean you actually had to use a computer that looked like that? Much the same way as parents from my generation probably tried to describe to you the joy of an Atari gaming system and the joy of playing Pitfall or Miss Pac-Man did back in my younger days. So to our class of 2020, I say congratulations to all of you on this tremendous, tremendous accomplishment, and remind you that St. Mary Magdalene Catholic School is and always will be your home. And I hope that you will come back to visit us often, to tell us how things are going with you, and to continue to share your life with us. And at this time, I now have the privilege to introduce our keynote speaker for this evening's promotion ceremony. And when we planned this promotion ceremony this year, the speaker for this event became very, very obvious to us because, much like you, he is being promoted or graduating from his role as pastor with his retirement, Father Donald Steib. He is our pastor, and he's the only pastor that St. Mary Magdalene Catholic Church has ever had. And many of you get to see him each and every day, but I just share a little bit about him for some of you that may not know this. He was ordained a priest in 1961, and he was charged to serve the Diocese of Raleigh, which at the time he made up the whole state of North Carolina. He served at multiple parishes throughout the diocese, but he also served in roles such as the director of Notre Dame High School in Greensboro and Charlotte Catholic High School. He also served as superintendent of the Diocese of Raleigh Catholic Schools office for 4 years. In 1997, Bishop Gosman assigned Father Steib to found a new parish in southwest Wake County, and the rest, as you know, is history. In one of my first meetings with Father Steib, he told me, now I'm going to warn you, I'm likely going to be retiring here in the next year or two, so I want you to know this before you accept this job. And Father Steib, I say to you that the past year has been an absolute privilege for me to have the opportunity to work with you. And I can tell you from personal experience, I've not met anyone here at St. Mary Magdalene who has not said a resounding thank you and the impact you have had on their lives. So, Father Steib, thank you very much. And at this time, it is now my privilege to introduce, and it is my honor to introduce Father Donald Steib.
I thank our principal, John Mahalio, for that introduction today. I am pleased today to share this graduation day with the class of 2020. May 21, which is today, is the 59th anniversary of my ordination. I usually celebrated on Pentecost because it was very unusual to be ordained on a Sunday, much less Pentecost Sunday. But that particular year, it was May 21 was the Feast of Pentecost. So I share this day. You can remember that, and I will remember you when I think of my own ordination anniversary. So I greet the class of 2020 especially. Your parents, God, and all your family and your friends who are with you and helping you to celebrate this event. I begin with a thought that was here yesterday at Mass in the Gospel when Jesus said to the disciples, I have much more to tell you. We all have much more to tell one another, to spend time with one another, to talk to one another, and to learn the things that have happened in the last few months but that will have to be for another time. And please God, it will happen soon for ourselves and for the whole world. One of the characteristics of these sad days that we all experience is that we are in this time together all over the world. There's no place that has not been touched by the virus, except islands out in the middle of nowhere. People who give talks at graduations, they always mention it's one of the most difficult kind of talks that people have to give. Because basically a graduation speaker wants to encourage the people who are graduating to have a good life that is coming, to encourage you to learn more, to be ambitious, to help one another. I have solved the task of giving graduation talks by giving the same talk every time I speak. Every year, at the last Mass, when I usually talk, the church is filled, or the gym used to be filled with students and the 8th graders. And I tell a story about a North Carolina native novelist, Thomas Wolfe. He's kind of old-fashioned. He died in 1939. He lived in Asheville. And he wrote a novel called Look Homeward Angel, and another one that people quote frequently, You Can't Go Home Again. When he wrote that novel, he included in the stories actual people who lived in Asheville. And he was not welcomed back to Asheville for a while because he told some secrets he probably shouldn't have revealed. But he wrote a short story once that caught my attention, and I've never forgotten it. It was while he was on a train trip in Germany. And the experience that he had in riding that train made him think that riding a train is just like living a life, our lives. We think of ourselves while we're alive. We're on a train car. And that would fit better if we were all here in the church, because I would say we're all here together. We will never be together like this, the same people, ever again. It's a unique gathering. It's never to be repeated. The group won't be here again. And on the train, as it moves from place to place, it stops, people get off, other people get on. And so it is in our lives too. People come into our lives and they leave. But while we are together in that car, it was a good ride. We learned different lessons. We had unique experiences together. But best of all, we were together in that train car of life. And now, all the 8th graders are getting off that train. St. Mary Magdalene will not be the same when that group goes away. But for the rest of our lives, there are two things to remember from our experiences that we had together. They were happy experiences. We had a happy train ride. But the best part of our train ride at St. Mary Magdalene is that we had wonderful companions. And we wish for everyone wonderful companions for the rest of your lives.
Good afternoon. What a pleasure it is to be here with all of you as we celebrate your sons and daughters' successes at St. Mary Magdalene, even if it is only virtually. This evening I've had the privilege of introducing the student who has been selected as the recipient for the prestigious Magdalene Award. Here at St. Mary Magdalene, we are blessed to be surrounded by wonderful students, each of whom has his or her own special gift or talent. We have singers, songwriters, and musicians. We have actors, dancers, and artists. We have science stars, budding authors, math prodigies, and athletes in disciplines too numerous to mention. It is a vast and impressive list, and I commend each of you for your skills, and I thank your parents for the gift that they have given to all of us of having had the pleasure and the privilege to work with you. However, the person selected for the Magdalene Award has more than a resume of talents. This person sets him or herself apart by embracing Leo Buscaglia's oft-quoted but not easily embraced observation: your talent is God's gift to you. What you do with it is your gift back to God. Each day, our Magdalene Award recipient endeavors in all ways, great or small, to make the community in which he or she lives a better, more positive place. Come walk our hallways or visit any of the classes where this young man is a student, and you will immediately notice something. He's always smiling. His words are uplifting, and his classmates genuinely respect him. I see how he reaches out to those around him. He's quick to help pick up a spilled backpack or to offer a quiet word of encouragement. He loves to share and a good laugh, but is ready to help when times are tough for those in need. He appreciates the efforts of his teachers and actually goes out of the way to tell them so. He is humble and unassuming, but intervenes if he sees a wrong is being done to those around him. He's not afraid to stand his ground for what is right, but does so in such a way that the churning waters of middle school are calmed almost without noticing those around him, noticing how it happened. This year's award winner also involves himself wholeheartedly in his community, both here and beyond the walls of St. Mary Magdalene. He's a dedicated volunteer for the CPO. He works diligently for the Western Wake Crisis Ministry and as an altar server. He is especially remembered in his role as a helper at Santa's Village, where his patience, kindness, and joy were readily and consistently in evidence as he worked with the overexcited and extremely distractible preschool crowd. He has earned his membership in the National Junior Honor Society through hard work, determination, and going the extra mile to achieve and maintain excellence in both academics and integrity. As a key member and a determined competitor on our soccer team, he was valued for his commitment to the team first, as well as for his genuine and enthusiastic support of all his team members' successes. In fact, at the end of this season, after scoring a key goal for the team, when this young man was asked about the game, his comments were only about how his teammates had risen to the challenge and had fought for the win. It was not then, and never has been, about him. In addition to enjoying the respect of his peers, this year's award recipient is also held in universal high esteem by his teachers. Allow me to share some of the descriptors offered by my colleagues. He is a good and loyal friend. He is humble and kind. His smile is contagious. He quietly does the lion's share of all the work. He is compassionate and thoughtful. He is confident in who he is. His work ethic is unparalleled. He is mature and can rise above the drama around him. He leads by example, and he lives his faith every day. This young man's tenacious pursuit of academic excellence and unfailing generosity of spirit, along with his kindness, humility, and joy, are an example to all of us. I have been blessed to have had the opportunity to be a part of his life and am eager to see where his future takes him. Fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, even from your living rooms at home, please join me in congratulating Grant Ozaki, the STMM winner of the Class of 2020 St. Mary Magdalene Award. Way to go, Grant.
My name is Holly Almond. I teach 8th grade English, and I will be presenting the St. Thomas Aquinas Award and the Jonah Award. Long considered one of the Catholic Church's greatest thinkers, St. Thomas Aquinas is the patron saint of students. St. Thomas Aquinas was a creative man with a thirst for knowledge, and his actions were a reflection of his unique personality. One of the greatest gifts a teacher can ever receive is a student who is committed to learning, shows great responsibility, and shines a light of encouragement on others. This year's recipient of the St. Thomas Aquinas Award holds all of these qualities and more. She is friendly, kind, helpful, and true to herself. She is a creative young woman with a thirst for knowledge, whose actions are a reflection of her own unique personality. She has been a gift to her teachers and to me. Although I know she loves to read, she recently admitted that if she could focus on just one part of English class, it would be writing. She said, "I really love writing stories." I hope she knows that I think she is an excellent writer. I have witnessed her dedication to her craft in class, and it is clear how much she enjoys it. I am pleased to know that one of her favorite memories of 8th grade is being recognized in class for a well-written and entertaining personal narrative. It was about an apple pie she made with her dad. Sophia Greco is quiet, thoughtful, and patient. I have seen what a caring friend she is to others. She is witty and fun to be around. She is incredibly smart and dedicated to her education with a remarkable work ethic. She may not monopolize class discussions, but her teachers know that when she does raise her hand, it is to say something relevant and important. St. Thomas Aquinas' greatest contribution to the Catholic Church is his writings. Not long ago, Sophia's mother shared with me how passionate Sophia is about her writing. Mrs. Greco also added that when she asked Sophia what she wanted to be when she grows up, Sophia mentioned a career in writing. I think she's on the right track. After all, she made a simple story about an apple pie warm my heart. I know without any doubts that she will continue to quietly seek and create, inspiring those around her just as St. Thomas Aquinas did. It is my pleasure to present the 2020 St. Thomas Aquinas Award to Sophia Greco. Congratulations, Sophia. And now for a new award, the Jonah Award. It all started in July 2017. I sat with my family inside our beautiful new church, the place where I wish you were sitting today. As I sat there and listened intently to Father Stibe's message, I had a little thought. That little thought has been growing for a few years, and when Father Stibe announced his retirement, that little thought gathered more steam and came to fruition. So it gives me great pleasure today to present our first ever Jonah Award. Why is Jonah here at our church? I went back to reread Father's sermon notes from July 2017, and here is your answer. Father Stibe thinks that the story of Jonah is the story of his life, and not just the story of his life, but the story of our lives too. I thought honoring Father Stibe with an award named after Jonah seemed fitting. Father Stibe tells us that, like Jonah, we are called to our own unique tasks in our own time. Sometimes that call may be confusing, or we may not understand it. Sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes we need help. More often than not, great courage is required. While Jonah initially ran from God, God never gave up on Jonah. Jonah's story teaches us that God loves us all, and we can trust that He is in control. When considering a student for the Jonah Award, my fellow teachers and I looked for the following characteristics: a student who has been committed to their education at St. Mary Magdalene, who has shown much growth in being called to their unique tasks, who has remarkable courage, who trusts God, and who shares in the joys of others. It didn't take much time at all for us to determine that Jordan Hannon possesses all of these characteristics. I have known Jordan since she was 3, as a preschooler at St. Mary Magdalene. She was a joyful and cute little girl to be around then, and she is an amazing and beautiful young woman to be around now. Being Jordan's teacher has been an honor and a privilege for me. She is witty, charming, funny, intelligent, joyful, caring, full of grace, completely genuine, and so much more. But I think it might mean more to Jordan if I shared what some of her classmates had to say about her. One of her friends recently shared this with me. I have known Jordan since my first day of first grade. She was one of the first to welcome me, and I remember wanting to go back the next day to see her because she left such an impact on me. Jordan has always shown that we should strive to be our best. I have always looked up to her, literally and figuratively, because she is so happy and bright, despite living with the toils of Marfan syndrome. Jordan has shown me to be happy with what I have and to enjoy these things. Another friend said this: "The more time I spend with Jordan, the more there is to love about her. Despite being diagnosed with Marfan syndrome at a young age, she is always, I mean always, positive and enjoys life. She is very active around the school community, always looking for ways to help her fellow students, and she does this enthusiastically." Other students said things like this: "A smile from Jordan can turn your day around. She is awe-inspiring. I've never known anyone else so courageous. Just watch Jordan in action, because her actions speak loudly. She is amazing." Jordan recently suggested that the 8th grade class of 2020 couldn't forget St. Mary Magdalene, even if they tried. Jordan, I don't think any of us could forget you, even if we tried. There is only one Jordan Hannon, just like there was only one Jonah to do the work of God in Nineveh. On that day, in July 2017, Father Stipe said that the story of Jonah calls to mind the importance of remembering our journeys of the past and the people who were with us. It is clear that Jordan has blessed many with her unique gifts and talents. She is a part of their journeys just like we are a part of her journey. I am so thankful to have been her teacher, to know her and her beautiful family, and I can't wait to see where her next journey will take her. Congratulations to our first recipient of the Jonah Award, Jordan Hannon.
At this time, I am pleased to present to you the names of our graduating 8th graders. Please note the names will be read exactly as the parents requested. Abby, Hope Almond, Victoria Apostolides, Gabriel A., Ryan Barr, Ryan Alexander Batan, Zoe Bergschneider, Rebecca Rose Bauer Berry, Sam Bertram, Nikki Blake, Logan Joseph Bourbeau, Lauren Boyle, Colin Carbone, Kendall Chapman, Brennan Klaus, Elena Catherine Connor, Noah Conrad, Trevor John Cooling, Preston Corin, Nicholas Coronetta, Ava Cordapasi, Sam Dakey, Alex Daly, Lily DeFreitas, J.T. Deloach, Mia DeStasio, Reagan D., Brady Lawrence Dolan, Ben Faze, Mariana, Kagan Fisk, Carter Goulding, Sarah G., Sophia Greco, Jordan Hannon, Kate Hayes, Audrey, Mia Jantek, Ina, Remley Johnston, Gavin, Delaney Kenshock, Avery Koviak, Luke L., Milena Lysing, Nicholas Leonard, Macy Lida, Brooke Lucas, Brooksy Magnum, Isabella, Emily Martin, Matthew Austin McCarthy, Zachary McCarthy, Jack McGeehan, Luke M., Enzo Melchiade, Lauren Miller, Braden M., Mira Nelson, Grant Ozaki, Brooke Padfield, Andres Paris, Benjamin Pockroy, Lily Przwanski, Samantha Rzeski, Kaylin Sapikowski, Elizabeth Sen, Joshua Cerna, Sienna Tacey, Ryan Tebow, Reagan Delane Tomzak, Sonia Underkoffler, Jordan Van Balkenberg, Sophie Wall, Siher Wang, Y. Wang, Owen Weigel, Ben Weichel, Nathan Christopher Widman, Ryan David Wizentz, Madeline Yancey, Adam Yarsevich. Congratulations to the class of 2020. Thank you.
When it comes to the English Language Arts Award, I like to choose a student who participates regularly, who shares their thoughts and opinions, who has strong feelings about the novels we read, who embraces the challenges of writing with goals to improve, and who influences their classmates in a variety of ways. My selection for this year's English Award might come as a surprise to my students, but I feel wholeheartedly that this young man encompasses these traits. First of all, he likes to have fun, and he's not shy about it. I also like to have fun in class, but because I'm the teacher, I've always thought that fun should be on my terms. Yet he somehow taught me how important it is to just be in the moment and to laugh. And don't we all need more laughter in our lives? He was always engaged and invested in whatever we were doing in class. He actually really cared about what we were reading, so much so that he usually finished our class novels in just a few days' time. I would witness him often get lost in a book, seeing an entirely different side of him, a quiet and thoughtful soul, concerned with the inner workings of the words on the pages in front of him. He liked that books could take him anywhere, and I like that about him. Teachers often encounter students, especially teenagers, who are just too proud to admit that they need help with a task. Writing is a difficult and demanding task for many, but I've always considered it my job to make it seem less scary and more approachable. Anyone can write well, it just takes commitment and practice. So when this student gave up part of his lunch one day to review his essay with me, I knew he had that commitment to improve. It meant a lot to me to see that effort, and he really has taken my instructions for writing to heart, making improvements each time he picks up a pencil. In the past 2 months, I have seen many students make many efforts, some big and some small. To get up early and meet your teacher and classmates on a virtual platform certainly takes effort. To then participate regularly in that virtual platform takes even more effort. I have found his participation and work ethic to be outstanding during distance learning. I am positive that he will continue to excel in English. I am pleased to present the 2020 English Language Arts Award to Ryan Tebow. Congratulations, Ryan.
Good afternoon. I'm here to present the Math Award. Mrs. Boyle and I discuss this often. Luckily, we both agree on what kind of student we're looking for the Math Award. We appreciate hard work, we appreciate someone who shows interest in math, and we appreciate someone who's an active learner. So as we were discussing our names, we went through them, And this person's name just popped out to both of us, and we said, yes, that's the person who should win. This person this year in math for me showed a tremendous amount of work ethic. I noticed how much she improved from the beginning of the year to the second quarter, and then continued to show that progress throughout the rest of the year. At one point she said to me, and I don't remember exactly how she said this, but she said to me, "You did a good job teaching that." And I don't remember exactly what I said to her, but what I would say to her is this: "No, Sammy, you did a good job learning it." Sammy always showed this year her hard work in doing her classwork and improving her grade and getting an A for the last 3 quarters. And that shows a lot that both me and myself and Mrs. Boyle respect about her. So Sammy, congratulations on this award. It was through your hard work and your effort that you have won this award. So the 2020 Mathematics Award goes to Sammy Rajewski.
Good afternoon. I am Lisa Salamito, and I'm here to present the Religion Award. In religion this year, I was blessed to have many students who excelled in class. I had many students who always came to class and did their very best. I had students who volunteered for Mass every single week, and I had students who came to Mass every week willing and able to help their fellow students and to help the Mass to run smoothly. I had students who asked thoughtful questions about faith and challenged me to think about faith in different ways. I had students who were prayerful and students who spirituality I learned from. So it's very hard to narrow it down from all these beautiful students to pick just one. But this student, this year's recipient, stood out because of his responsibilities. He went above and beyond his responsibilities as part of the Mass Tech crew. He anticipated the needs for technical help beyond just the Mass. Anytime anything was going to happen in the school, he was right there asking if he could help and if we needed his help. He has a heart of service, volunteering not only in our off-campus ministries, but he even did service hours while he was on vacation. This year's Religion Award goes to a young man who exemplifies Jesus' teaching to serve one another. He has blessed this school with his kindness, his hard work, and his cheerful attitude. I am pleased to present the Religion Award to Sam Bertram. Congratulations, Sam.
Science goes a little something like this: experiment, fail, experiment again, fail, repeat, as many times as necessary. Being a scientist is as much about perseverance and determination as it is about getting the actual results. To be a good scientist, you must be able to tackle the challenge even when you think it's out of your reach. To be able to do this with strong determination and a will to succeed is the most important part. This year's recipient shows these skills. She continues to work hard. She doesn't quit, especially when it seemed like the objective was out of her reach or not something that she was going to be the best at. She provides amazing determination, ethics, and excellence, not just in science, but in everything that she does. Her determination, her grace, and her perseverance are what make her not only a good scientist, but an amazing student. It is my pleasure to present this year's Science Award to Milena Lysing.
To all of my students, look at me. I want to thank you for your kindness and your good work and your goodness. It was great. It was great to be your teacher this year. I would like to present the Social Studies Award to Sam Dakey. Sam, your exuberant interest in U.S. history inspires me. Your work was always thoughtful, it was thorough, it was accurate. After class most days, you'd like to linger and keep talking about whatever it was we were talking about, instead of going to lunch. That's dedication. You sent me pictures of yourself standing next to Civil War cannons at Fort Fisher. Your Shark Tank demonstration of how a radio works using a couple of batteries and a quarter, that was brilliant, amazing. Your pride and excitement in discovering that you are a descendant of the Pilgrims from the Mayflower is exactly what I wanted the goal of that project to be. And your kindness to your fellow students shows your character. So thank you for being awesome, Sam Dakey. You are the recipient of this year's Social Studies Award.
Good afternoon. In Spanish class this year, we began the year throwing tomatoes at each other to reenact the Tilmatina Festival in Spain each August. And we ended last week taking a virtual field trip to Spain. What an awesome time we've had this year, a lot of learning and growing. In addition, this year in Spanish class, this student has brought energy, enthusiasm, and a wonderful attitude to every single class. This student has always been inquisitive and engaged with questions or comments, which not only helped her, but the entire classroom community. Her willingness to rise above the crowd, be a willing volunteer, was consistently evident, making our class more interactive and engaging on a daily basis. And for that, I say gracias. This student has always grasped new vocabulary and grammar topics and is quick to incorporate them into her writing and to her speaking. Her unfailing ability to submit outstanding work is truly commendable. But perhaps what impressed me the most about this student is her sincere desire to understand the why of both the language and also its culture, which set her apart, lifting her just that bit above her peers. It is my pleasure to award this year's Spanish Academic Award to Sarah G. Felicitaciones.
I am back. I am now going to name the students that earned the Father Donald Stibe Service Award. These students completed over 30 hours of service in their community, in their church, in their school, and we even had students that went to other countries that completed service hours. The winners, or the recipients, will be called by the way their names wanted to be named. First we have Abby, Hope Almond, Gabriel A., Sam Bertram, Nikki Blake, Lauren Boyle, Colin Carbone, Elena Connor, Noah Conrad, Mia DeStasio, Reagan D., Mariana, Sarah G., Jordan Hannon, Kate Hayes, Avery Koviak, Milena Lysing, Nick Leonard, Luke M., Lauren Miller, Brooke Padfield, Sammy Rajeski, Ryan Tebow, Reagan Tomzak, Ben Weichel, and Nathan Widman. Congratulations.
This evening, I am here to present the Schultes Award. The Schultes Award started a few years ago when the fifth and last Schultes child completed 8th grade at St. Mary Magdalene. The Schultes Award is given to a longtime family when their last child is being promoted from our school. The recipient should be a family that has been dedicated to Catholic education and has gone above and beyond to support St. Mary Magdalene Catholic School and church community. This year's recipient is a family that has sent all 4 of their children to St. Mary Magdalene from kindergarten to 8th grade. Their time at St. Mary Magdalene has spanned over 19 years. They have volunteered in multiple roles over these years, including room parent, coach, and chairs of committees. The parents have always trusted the school to do what is best for their children. They stand behind their children, but have also taught them to advocate for themselves. It will be an end of an era for this family, but we look forward to watching their last child fly as she moves on to high school, just as her 3 brothers have. This year, it is my pleasure to present the 2020 Schultes Award to Greg and Carrie Adis.
Well, as we close today's ceremony, I want to take this time to recognize a few of our faculty members who will not be returning to St. Mary Magdalene Catholic School next year. So a big thank you to Mrs. Lisa Salamito, Mrs. Judy Boyle, who are both with us this evening. We have some flowers for them, as well as Mrs. Liz Pfeiffer, who is, I'm sure, watching us at home this evening. We have a small token of our appreciation for each of you at this time, and each of those teachers are receiving a bouquet of flowers. Ms. Pfeiffer will have yours to you shortly. St. Mary Magdalene Catholic School class of 2020, on behalf of our faculty, administration, and monarchs everywhere, congratulations to you. I wish everyone a very happy Memorial Day. Please stay safe, and we can't wait to see you all again very, very soon. God bless.